Stugotz's weekend observations are coming in just a second. But, Mike, again, I don't remember why it is. It involved Isner for some reason. You were talking about the 5 weirdest, not weirdest, I shouldn't make it that pejorative, the most different bodies you've been around.
Mike and I were having a little tennis discussion. I'm not certain what we were talking about. Something about majors.
We were talking because Djokovic may not be eligible for
Correct.
the French Open, which actually has huge historical implications because right now, I'm not sure if you're familiar with this, Federer, Djokovic, and Nadal are all tied for first place on the major wins category.
Mm-hmm.
And if Djokovic doesn't play in the French Open, he would be Nadal's main competition. Nadal can take the lead. So there are huge ramifications for what Djokovic is going through.
Australia now is, according to Serbians, Australia no longer exists because of what they just did.
It's an international incident.
I loved the headlines in tennis that called it "Return of Serb." That was Serbia. Serbia is having nothing to do with Australia now because he is an epic national symbol.
Well, the French Open is about to do the same thing. It's going to be interesting to see what Djokovic does because I know that record means something to him. Of course it does. But it means a lot to him because he doesn't feel validated as the greatest tennis player of all time, but he knows if he has the most majors, no one could really argue it.
And he could put that major record out of reach, certainly for Federer. Nadal, he's had his injuries, is recovering from one now. Djokovic is still operating at the top of his game.
What a great era of tennis.
Incredible.
God,
you literally
guys,
have the 3 greatest male tennis players ever.
All at the same time.
Pretty much at the same time.
It's 3 Jordans. It's 3 Michael Jordans.
Yeah. Federer's peak happened when when Djokovic and Nadal were a little young, but they came up and took it from him. But Stugotz was making the point, like, Nadal's going to take the French Open. Who's there to compete with him? And no, Medvedev is coming for his stuff, and Tsitsipas is coming for his stuff. And we got to Riley Opelka, who Stugotz actually returned to serve from, and we were kind of surprised that if Stugotz could return his serve, he can't be ranked very high, but he is. He's like the 3rd highest ranked American player.
He's one of these 7-footers who serves 1,000,000 miles an hour, and I don't think he made your list of top 5 most unusual bodies you've been around.
People have no idea how large tennis players are because there's no frame of reference because no one else is sharing the screen. And it got me, Riley Opelka got me thinking of some other tennis bodies that I've been around, and I've always been just floored by how large these individuals are. So I put together a top 5 list of just shocking bodies to me. And there's some nuance here because it's not just big or air quotes freakish looking bodies. It's like, how, with this frame,
Shaq has to be on this list.
How do you do the things you do based on how you play? I know how Shaq does it. Shaq is big and strong. He looked every bit of it. It didn't surprise me that he was able to compete.
So he's not on this list.
No, he's not.
Shaq does not make the list.
No, he is not. So number 5, Brett Romberg.
Shouldn't be that strong.
Roms.
Shouldn't be that strong. Shouldn't have been able to excel at the center position because he's got Tyrannosaurus Rex arms. It makes no sense.
No, you're right.
I feel like you need a long wingspan to play center in the NFL and at college.
Whittingham vigorously nodding. He does have Romberg. It's as if he doesn't have arms. It's just hands as armpits.
It's wild.
I think that's harsh. I think it's just relative to NFL offensive linemen.
Right.
He has small arms. I think if you saw
hands as armpits,
but he has arms.
Is too strong. You're alleging. You're saying this.
He looks like a Mr. Potato Head sometimes.
Again,
careful.
For a football player.
When he blocked, it seemed like his nipples were hands.
We should probably step away from having more beef with that offensive line for 2000.
Let's get to number 4.
Billy all of a sudden wants to exercise caution with former University of Miami offensive lineman.
I talked to Romberg at a Target. He was very nice.
Oh, nice.
Number 4.
So there is the journalistic spine of one Billy Gill.
I love it.
His standard is, I talked to Romberg time at a Walmart. He was nice.
A Target, Dan. Come on.
Number 4, Charles Barkley. He's not much taller than I am, but he's one of the greatest rebounders in the history of the game.
His ass is where your ears are, is what it is.
His ass is so high. I cannot
It doesn't make sense, though.
properly frame
You
this.
were surprised that he was not much bigger than you, correct?
Right. I was stunned that I assumed that one of the greatest rebounders and an excellent basketball player would be much larger than me, and he
is
maybe
not.
had like 2 inches on me max.
The round mound of rebound.
All right, number 3, John Isner.
We have around here every once in a while some muscular therapists that come in. Whittingham just got the tension taken out of his neck. And you know how strong Genesis is, but whenever any of these people have worked on Barkley, they cannot believe the length of his levers. Like they can't. When they're done with him, all of them are exhausted. Like they're trying to treat him for what ails him. I don't understand how those hips work, how that ass works. Those glutes are where the back of your head is. Everyone listening to this.
John Isner. I don't even know if he's taller than Riley Opelka, but he seemed it. His arms just went for days. I was afraid when he got up out of a chair because he's just all femur. I don't know how
like
these tennis players do it.
Pogo sticks for legs.
It's incredible the weight that these guys excel at when you take into account their frame.
Like giraffe kind of.
Yeah, they are titans, and people don't speak enough
but
about
it's
it.
also because what Isner, the advantage Isner has isn't just the 7 feet. It's not just that he's got a whip that he's basically at the top of his serve. It's also because he's so high up that he's hitting the ball down, so it's bouncing, and it would bounce over Stugotz's head if he wanted it to, because he's so tall.
I'm not so certain. I mean, Opelka is the same size, same kind of serve. I returned his, so I don't know what you're talking about. You don't give me enough credit as one of the great tennis service returners of all time. You really don't. I mean, top 5, right behind Agassi.
It's amazing that Federer was at 6'1", not tall certainly by any stretch of the imagination in that sport, and just housing these dudes.
Yeah.
And eating their serves didn't matter. So it was a testament to him. Number 2 is Maurice Jones-Drew.
MJD.
So
he
small.
was just a bowling ball. Like you stand next to him and you're like, how could anyone tackle this? They have a saying in football, if you've ever played it, low man wins. He's round. He's the lowest. You can't get lower than him. He would blow people up with just this crazy explosion, and I'm not even sure his hamstrings ever totally unwound. I don't understand.
It would be like trying to tackle an actual bowling ball. Like, where do you tackle it? You just have to go in, and it's going to hurt.
Yeah, he was really good. And number 1, Taco Fall. I saw him in Cleveland.
It's unbelievable.
And I saw the top of him because something was obstructing my view.
It's unbelievable.
And I assumed surely he's standing on some sort of platform. And I got to the same floor and I was looking up and I was like, I kept expecting the body to end and it would just keep going.
7'7"?
Yeah, he stepped outside. It was a cold, balmy day in Cleveland and he put on a hoodie to not be recognized. Taco Fall.
6.5.
It's a great list, man.
It was like, you remember that scene in Ninja Turtles where Raphael goes to the movie theaters in a trench coat and doesn't get recognized? It's kind of like how that was.
It is.
But your Taco Fall, everyone knows it.
It is funny. I do imagine, how was your vision sort of impaired? Because Jamal Mashburn one time, I think I've told you guys this story, was laying on his side on the court. And for some reason, looking through all the legs, he saw Alonzo Mourning's legs and asked himself, why is there a horse on the court? Just like he was looking at it on the side. And some of these bodies, Taco Fall, I'm imagining like in a casino, you're coming up to where the escalator goes up. What I'm imagining is you're looking into the distance and all the other human beings are under what would be the roof there. And he is still going up.
I couldn't make sense of it with like all the frames of reference. He was just so much larger. And obviously, I know Taco Fall is impossibly tall. I am here to tell you, it is somehow, I had imagined seeing Taco Fall being like, that would clearly be the tallest human being I had ever seen. But it's beyond description. It's somehow bigger than I imagined.
It's like when you say when people meet Shaq and they just go, he's big, huh? Like, it's so impressive. I remember the first time I saw Zydrunas Ilgauskas in person. I was sat at like row 4. I was sat at like row 4 of a Heat game. I was like 11 years old. I was like, oh my
I know.
Good
You-
Lord.
it's funny because I was in. You don't realize that they're larger than anything else in the animal kingdom. I was walking through a Bahamas casino with Boog Shambi, and he's like, "That's Travis Knight over there." It was somebody who's sitting down. And I'm like, no, it's not Travis Knight. That doesn't look anything like him. And then he started to unfold when he got out of the chair. And Travis Knight isn't even one of the big ones, but it's just like, oh my God, that moves differently than all the other animals.
You know who might have been number one if I was there in person to experience it, but I was only experiencing it via monitor. And Derrick Henry seems like he should be on this list.
Yes.
I don't know how. I don't know. The photos from that day and you sharing a desk with him. So one of my favorite moments in show history.
How much bigger he looked than
And he's a
Stugotz.
running back, historically
Well,
position
Stugotz
that
and Billy
historically
were next
smaller
to him.
people
Weren't
play.
you guys next to him? Weren't Stugotz and Billy right next to Derrick Henry? Do they fit the body type?
Not that big.
Yeah.
Time now for Stugotz's weekend observations.
It is time for Stugotz to share his game notes. No one in the media will tell you what happened better than my boy Stu.
Weekend observations brought to you by Miller Lights. Great taste, 96
Why
calories.
are you whispering in my ear, laughing and red-faced? Derrick Henry was enormous. Why are you doing that?
He was so big.
Yeah,
right?
big guy, yeah. Should play football.
How big was he? You were standing.
He's big, Dad.
Yeah, big, yeah.
I mean, you want exacts? What do you want? I mean,
I just wanted something other than he wasn't that big.
I've seen bigger.
Hell yeah.
again, weekend observations brought to you by Miller Lite. Great taste, 96 calories, available for delivery. Dan, he was just 7 minutes away from winning a Super Bowl and becoming the best-looking quarterback to ever win a Super Bowl. But Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs were just too good. He's been injured and inconsistent ever since, but after going 16 of 25 for 186 yards, no touchdowns, and one interception, doing just enough to not lose the game, Dan, make no mistake about it, Jimmy Garoppolo is back. Jimmy G, which leads me to my top 5 best looking quarterbacks to ever win a Super Bowl.
Wow.
How about that?
All right. Exciting.
Yes, very exciting. Number 5, Tom Brady, 2001. Number 4, Len Dawson. I mean, kids, look him up. Lenny in his prime is a handsome devil.
Len Dawson.
Oh, Len Dawson is a good-looking man. Look him up.
Okay.
Iconic photo of him smoking a cigarette with like a Miller Lite at his feet.
Mm-hmm. That's Len Dawson. Yeah.
Number-
Good-looking guy, right?
Number 3.
Troy Aikman.
Fitter than ever. Shirtless. Sculpted now.
Yeah.
6-pack.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like Jay-Z.
I think that's as close as we're going to come to black on this list.
Number 2, Doug Williams.
You just threw that in there
What do
now.
you mean?
You just said
What do you
you're full of
mean?
it. You did that on you. There's no way that's there.
Read them and wait, Dano. Here you go. Top 5.
Your lists on handsome people are, you know what? I stand corrected.
Thank you.
My bad.
Whoa.
I stand
Did he
corrected.
spell Doug correctly?
That's a good question. D-U-G?
You got it.
Thank you. Doug Williams, when he won that Super Bowl for the Washington then Redskins, now the football team.
Dude,
What
wait,
happened?
what are you doing?
What happened there?
You had
That
I'm
was,
trying to
that
tell
was-
you,
that was
whatever.
not the way to do that.
I said now football team.
All right.
I was just trying to point out he was a handsome guy.
That's right.
I
a
mean,
slur. You could have avoided that.
Number
I know.
1.
Tom Brady, 2021.
Oh, wow. Okay. The most handsome there's ever been
Yeah,
at the position.
he's not.
Yes. You have that right.
Thank you.
He deserves to be on the list twice.
Mm-hmm. Brian Flores, Houston Texans, collision course. Sean McDermott, revenge game. I saw a sign for the flu shot off to the side of an urgent care, ruined by the wind. And I said to myself out loud, poor flu shot. Have you thought that at all lately?
Never.
You haven't?
All the pub is being taken from it.
Really? I mean, it's kind of on the side of the building. No one's paying attention
Taking
to
a
it. No one
battering,
cares if it
left
flies
behind,
away.
No longer in
Yeah.
its prime, the
No
flu.
one cares. Yeah. I get one every day. I mean, if they told me to get 2 a day, I would.
Flu shots every day.
Mm-hmm. Buffalo Bills. Clicking on all
I'm
cylinders.
pretty sure that would be bad for you, right? We don't have to.
Last time I got the flu shot, I got the flu. I mean,
I'm following this guy. It's on Instagram. It's the Raw Meat Project, and every day he has a raw meat meal. It looks like he's gonna. I think he might die from this, but so far so good. I have to think a flu shot every day is bad for you.
Put it on the poll, Guillermo at LeBatard Show. Is a flu shot every day bad for you?
Buffalo Bills clicking on all cylinders, peaking at the right time, circling the wagons.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
All of those things.
They always are. Dan, I have a new Belichick Brady credit pie chart.
All right.
You ready?
Yeah, it's very exciting.
99.5% Tom Brady.
Oh, all right.
0.5% Bill Belichick.
What was it before
and
that
I'm being
last
generous
game?
with 0.5.
What was it before that last game, though? Because you were celebrating. I think you said maybe his best coaching job, Dan. So what was it before that last result?
It was 97.6% before this past weekend's results.
Took a beating.
Yeah. I mean, all of a sudden, Bruce Arians is Bill Belichick. B.A. I have no idea if Mac Jones is any good. Cincinnati looks like a misery. The jungle, the Queen City. Looks miserable there, right?
It does look cold.
Yeah.
A little cold and dark. First playoff victory in 31 years, Stugotz.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Burrow.
Yep. Zach Taylor said
Hey. That's all Dan had.
That's all I got there.
Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow making that city matter again at the quarterback position like it hasn't since Boomer Esiason. 31 years.
Booms. Remember Kenny Anderson?
I don't want to do this show with you.
How
You
about
already
Jeff
did.
Blake?
One of the greats.
You already did Len
How about
Dawson. Come
Neil
on.
O'Donnell.
Come on.
Oh, Neil O'Donnell.
Achilles Smith.
Oh my God.
John Kitna.
Kitty Cat.
Kitty Cat. I don't feel like
That's
anyone
his nickname.
called him that. I don't
Friends did.
think his lovers did.
Zach Taylor said the playoff win is a credit to the Bengals' faith in me. No, Zach. It's a credit to the greatness of Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase and has absolutely nothing to do with you. Dan, you know what the C in Chase stands for?
No.
Canton. No Brown, no Fournette, no Godwin, no Jones, no problem. I hate him. It's enough already. He's got the Rams strolling into town this weekend. That's going to be fun. Aaron Donald going after Brady. He's not going to get to him, though. Ever.
You're having a whole conversation.
I am,
You're,
myself.
you're
Yeah,
playing the
weird.
game out yourself.
Not that I should go up against your gambling record this postseason because you've been pretty good.
I have.
But Tampa is down 2 offensive linemen.
Oh, Wirtz is out? Is he going to be out?
Worfs.
Oh, whatever.
$5.
Really?
Well, I just like turning the tables on you on a fine that's not a fine for you.
You still owe 5 for yay.
I don't know 5 for yay.
Yeah, you do.
No,
You owe
I
5
don't.
for yay.
No,
I
I
mean,
don't.
it's-
Kanye
you
West.
called him Kanye twice.
I got his name
We told
right.
you it was yay,
He
and then you
doesn't
said it again.
He doesn't get to decide what his name is
I'm
for
not
me.
putting my 5 until you put your 5 in.
No, that's I don't know how you just got away with. I don't deserve a fine for Kanye West.
It's yay. It's 5 more. 15. Where was I? Giving game balls to a local bar. All of a sudden, Zach Taylor's the toast of Cincinnati. The natty. Have you noticed this with Zach Taylor all of a sudden? I mean, gee, it has nothing to do with it.
First playoff win in 31 years.
You point at Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow.
Cincy. The Cowboys are a coach away. America's team. Can't wait to see the next potential Cowboys head coach that has to sleep over Jerry Jones's house to get the job. What a weird thing that
It's
was.
such a funny thing, all of it. Like this team for 25 years in America's biggest sport, an oil tycoon runs it, gives press conferences, and it's terrible for 25 years and just handpicks puppet coaches. And then it's surprised when they do bad things at the end.
Pete Carroll coming back for another year used to be good news. Congratulations to Magic Johnson for finally learning how to use Twitter. I mean, how about that? You see that?
That was amazing to see him with no self-awareness.
Crazy.
Criticize the Lakers for not showing effort after he ran the Lakers and didn't show effort.
So proud of him.
It was amazing.
I'm with you on Len Dawson, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah, this is
Oh,
one
you're
of
all
the
seeing it
coolest
now?
photos. It's one
Right.
of the coolest photos ever.
Looks good even in loose sleeves.
And
As
I
you
owe
know,
you,
is generally the rule is if loose sleeves, you're bad.
and I owe you an apology again. He did not concoct Doug Williams on the fly. He made a racially sensitive list. Did it on his own.
And then he called the Washington football team by their
Yeah,
former
well, he
name.
did do that. That is what happened.
Jimmy Garoppolo did what Jimmy Garoppolo does. Handed the ball off. Jimmy G. I thought I was seeing the ghost of Jim Fossil until the announcers informed me it was his son, John Fossil. Did you see him?
I did not.
Oh my God, he looks just like Jim. The Cowboys are like the bad news bears of the NFL. Whenever and wherever Jarris McKinnon plays, he plays well.
Who's Jarris McKinnon?
I don't know. The guy on the Chiefs?
Jarrick McKinnon?
Oh, maybe.
That's a fine.
Really?
$5.
You still owe 15 for yay. Jarrick, you agree, though. Whenever he plays, wherever he plays well.
Your racially sensitive list is falling apart with the inability to pronounce the names of black men.
Let's pronounce yay. Stephen Jones said he is confident Mike McCarthy will return. That's unfortunate. Steve Nash said of the Kevin Durant injury, we can't cry about it. Steve, when you have James Harden, Kyrie Irving, and Kevin Durant, you can never cry again about anything. Bills, seriously. Bills.
So he's not allowed to get his
Ever.
heart broken. Okay?
No.
He's not allowed to grieve.
No. Not anywhere in his life can he
Okay.
cry again. Okay?
Fair
When
enough.
his wife comes home with terrible news, he can't cry.
Okay, fair
All right?
enough.
He has Durant, Kyrie, and Harden.
Okay.
It seems ridiculous.
I got you. Blessed for eternity.
Bills, Chiefs, feels like the AFC Championship game, even though the Titans beat them in back-to-back weeks in October. But you know what they say, Dan? That was then, and this is now. Hey, look at you. If I didn't know better, I'd say it looks like Dallas and San Francisco were both trying to lose that game. The Warriors are better without Klay Thompson.
You're so funny, man. As soon as you said that DeMar DeRozan was the MVP of the league, they lost 138-96 at home to the Warriors.
Zach LaVine's hurt. I mean,
As soon as you said it, they've
know.
lost every game by 40 points against anyone good they're playing. As you tried to convince America that DeMar DeRozan is a number one for a playoff team.
terrible. The Cavs lost Ricky Rubio and Colin Sexton, and yet every time I look at the standings, they've won 7 of 10. How'd that happen? The Cavs are good
They
again.
got some young players, yes.
Garland, right?
Yeah,
He's a real good player.
he is.
Mobley,
Jared Allen. is good.
Mobley.
Yeah. Kevin Love's still out there.
Off the bench, coming off the bench.
Have any of you guys seen the Cavs?
Yes.
How many times? Once,
Oh,
three
not very
times, five
much.
times?
No, it's not like they're not on. I didn't realize that was a question. You were questioning our Cavs knowledge. We haven't been breaking it down on NBA TV, if that's what you
Yeah,
mean.
Kevin Love off the bench, though. I was proud of you.
Yes, he's coming off the bench. We gave good analysis there.
He's having a good season.
He is having a good season. I said Sexton got hurt. I said Rubio got hurt. It's a good team. Kyler Murray, hell of a time to have the worst game of your career. Speaking of hell, or Bryles. Dan, those are the weekend observations.